2025 gave us some incredible Korean movies, but let's be honest, not every release lived up to the hype. From massive budgets to star-studded casts that missed the mark, here are the 5 biggest Korean movie flops that defined the year for all the wrong reasons. First up is Omniscient Reader The Prophecy. This film entered 2025 with massive expectations, largely because it is based on a web novel and webtoon that shaped a global fantasy subgenre. Fans were hoping for the next Along with the Gods, especially with a cast led by Lee Min-ho and Ahn Hyo-seop and a massive budget. While it opened strong, hitting #1 at the box office, it needed over 6 million admissions to break even. Unfortunately, once the initial fan rush faded, attendance plummeted. Critics and fans alike felt the movie stripped away the original story's depth, replacing it with awkward CGI and rushed character development. Ultimately, it became a prime example of how hype cannot save a film when the execution falls short. Next is Bogota City of the Lost, a movie that sadly played to quiet theaters. The situation was so dire that at a promotional event, the cast could not hide their disappointment, with Song Joong-ki even tearing up while asking for support. The film follows a Korean immigrant in Colombia navigating the underworld, a premise that sounded promising. However, the box office numbers were brutal, reaching only a fraction of the 3 million admissions needed to break even. Viewers felt the movie wasted its unique setting on predictable crime tropes, and while it later found some life on Netflix, the theatrical run was undeniably a disaster. Then we have Mickey 17. On paper, this looked like a guaranteed hit, directed by Parasite creator Bong Joon and starring Robert Pattinson. However, the film tripped over its own massive price tag. With production and marketing costs reportedly nearing $200 million combined, it needed a global takeover. Instead, it saw a lukewarm opening. Audiences were confused by the tone, which bounced between serious sci-fi and goofy satire without committing to either. When people leave the theater talking about tonal issues rather than the story, you know the word of mouth is in trouble. Streaming audiences faced their own disappointment with The Great Flood. Netflix marketed this as a high-stakes emotional disaster blockbuster, but viewers felt duped when the genre seemed to switch mid-movie. The story starts with a mother trying to save her child from a flood but quickly pivots into tangled sci-fi concepts. Ratings on Naver Movies and other platforms tanked as viewers complained about plot holes and a lack of plausibility. It highlights a recurring issue where massive pre-release buzz for streaming originals turns into skepticism the moment the audience hits play. Finally, there is Yadang The Snitch. This crime thriller featuring Kang Han-yul was expected to own the local box office but instead fell victim to terrible timing. Released during election season with a title that sounds like Opposition Party in Korean, the film could not escape political comparisons despite the director's insistence that it was just fiction. While not a total quality disaster, many viewers actually enjoyed the acting, it failed to become the hit it needed to be in a year where Korean cinema was already struggling to pull in big numbers. Which of these 2025 letdowns surprised you the most?